Well, as you can see, we've got a fun one today. This is a 1997 Geo Tracker, which is a compact SUV first introduced in 1989 and running through 1998 as the Geo Tracker. From 1999 to 2004, it becomes the Chevy Tracker, and it was also rebranded as several other models over the years. The Geo Tracker was available as either a two-door hardtop or convertible model, as well as this four-door van configuration. It was available in two different trim packages. They had the base model and the higher-end LSI model. Now, the Geo Tracker is to the off-roading community what the Mazda Miata is to the sports car community. There are many out there that kind of mock it, think it's kind of a joke, but at the same time, there's a huge following of loyalists that love the Geo Tracker for what it is. It's small, it's affordable, fairly efficient for its era. It's got a pretty short wheelbase, particularly in that two-door configuration. It's body on frame construction, and for several years it was actually only sold as a four-wheel drive model, and the four-wheel drive models have a two-speed transfer case with a low range option. The compact SUV market is abundant these days, but in its time, the Tracker was a very novel idea. It's very small, but it still has a very utilitarian look to it with boxy proportions and a tall and narrow footprint. It has large windows with a unique cutout near the side mirrors where the window drops down and improves visibility. Sheet metal has a clean overall layout with a subtle bulge and side reflectors at both the front and rear fenders. The front fascia is boxy with rectangular headlights and grille and a simple hood and bumper design. This model has fuel cans mounted at the rear, but in stock form they have a rear-mounted spare tire on the passenger side with the license plate mounted on the driver's side, and the door swings from the side. This model also has a set of aftermarket wheels, roof rack, hood-mounted high-lift jack, several LED lights, and has been repainted in a non-original color. Looking inside the Tracker, you'll see it's got a very simple interior with a basic layout. And although it's a fairly small vehicle, it actually feels fairly spacious in here with plenty of headroom. The seats are also decently comfortable. It's got manually operated windows and door locks. A little storage space in the door here. Likewise, our seats are manually adjusted. To the left of the steering column, you'll see we've got a heated rear windshield and a dimmer switch for the instrument cluster. On the instrument cluster itself, we've got our tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge. A couple of vents here in the middle, and below that you'll see we've got heat, and this model actually has the optional air conditioning. Also got an aftermarket stereo. To the left of that, you'll see we've got our windshield wiper and sprayer for the rear window, and we've also got cruise control. We've got a cigarette lighter, an ashtray, and this model is equipped with the 5-speed manual. In the middle, we've got some storage space, 2 cup holders, and our emergency brake. And looking into the rear seat, you'll see that it's a little bit tight, but not terrible. Our seat backs fold down in a 60-40 split to further increase rear cargo area. And we've got an ashtray down here in the center console. And once again, our windows and door locks are manually operated. And coming around back, you'll see we've got the side swinging rear door and a good amount of rear cargo space, especially because of the tall roof. And once again, we can drop down the seat backs in that 60-40 split to further increase this area. I actually had to do an internet search to see how to open the hood on the Tracker, and this is a pretty unique design detail. Got to come over here to the passenger side door, swing this open our glove box, and then there's a handle up here in the top. That opens up our hood. Now, when the Tracker first came out, it came standard with 4-wheel drive. Starting in 1992, you could also get it in rear-wheel drive. And then it's got a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. See if we can open this up to give you a look. When it first came out, offered 80 horsepower, and for 1996, it's upgraded to 95 horsepower. You could get that paired to either a 5-speed manual, and then on 2-door models, you could also get it with a 3-speed automatic. 4-door models, you could get it with a 4-speed automatic. That's good for a 0 to 60 time of about 15 seconds, max tow capacity of about 1,000 pounds, and fuel economy of about 19 to 21 miles per gallon in the city and 22 to 25 miles per gallon on the highway. As you may recall, the 0 to 60 time is about 15 seconds, so we're going to take our time here merging onto the highway, wait for a nice gap between vehicles before we make our entry. All right, wish me luck here, people. At 95 horsepower, doing the best they can. It's perfectly adequate on the trails and that lower speed driving, but when you get up on the highway speeds, it's not quite enough. Not that you'd want to be going too much faster than this anyway. I will say I was enjoying myself a lot more on those lower speed roads than the highway driving. The highway driving, it just feels underpowered to the point where you can't keep up with other traffic. And even if you could, I've got this high lift jack sitting on the hood here that is flexing the hood up and down, and I don't want that thing coming loose because it would just impale me. It is locked on. More thinking if I crash, it would come loose and then it would impale me. I will say that you get quite a bit of wind noise and road noise coming into the cabin of the Tracker. It is not a high-end luxury vehicle by any means. These are actually probably most popular as a pull-behind vehicle for RV owners. It's a great option really when you think about it. They're small, they're lightweight, great vehicle to attach to your larger RV, so when you get to places, you've got a little tiny mode of transportation to get around. And then as we've already discussed, they're obviously popular in the off-road community as well. This particular model is actually the two-wheel drive model, so not quite as capable in that area, but still, I mean, you got that short wheelbase, it's very narrow for getting down those tight trails, so I'm sure you could still have a lot of fun even in this one. One feature that I really like on the Tracker is this cutout that we've got down here on the windows on both sides. I think it's a really cool design cue. You see it on a lot of semi-trucks, and then it's been popularized with the Ford F-150. It's really become one of their trademark design cues, and it's funny to think that Geo actually pioneered that before Ford. Now that I've had a chance to experience the Tracker at highway speeds with a lot of other fast-moving traffic all around me, it'll be my last. If I were to do this review again, I definitely would have stuck to some of the slower speed roads. It just is a little uncomfortable when you got big rigs driving by, and the vehicle just feels a little bit wobbly on the road. It feels like it doesn't really want to maintain a nice smooth path of travel, and it just doesn't really have the power to keep up at these highway speeds. So there you go, that's a look at the 1997 Geo Tracker, the Mazda Miata of the off-roading community. This is off-roading in its simplest form. It's small, it's affordable, fairly fuel efficient for its age, yet at the same time, fairly capable for what it is. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. For more car and truck reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.